going to the cinema, laundry day, ants, bridges, hotels, Norwich, walls, and now why I love Alex's. That's people called Alex. There is no more relatable content than this on the entirety of YouTube, I guarantee it. Now, let's have some music. I'm a big believer in the power of names. Through nearly 46 years of life experience, I believe that I can tell a lot about a person's personality just from their name. Greg's, for example, tend to be reasonable and friendly. Bev's are lovely people who my friends might marry. Chris's are very often best friend material, and every Carmen I have ever met has been amazing. I also have theories on certain names that are reliable indicators of attractiveness, and certain other names that are reliable indicators of a proneness to idiocy. But I won't divulge those here because there are always exceptions, and I don't want to divorce or to upset anyone. But I can safely say that all Alexes are magnificent. I've known loads of Alexes in my life. Rice, Horn, Rogerson, Stiller, Sutcliffe, Antonio, Oldham, Campbell, to name but a few. Even one of my son's best friends is called Alex. And they are universally lovely, kind, friendly, talented, funny and attractive. On the inside, which is most important. Perhaps the nicest of all the Alexes, and therefore the nicest of everyone on earth, is my good friend Alex, who's appeared on this channel before. We met many years ago at BBC Radio Kent, and now we go to watch QPR together. I don't think I've ever heard him say anything nasty about anyone. He almost never swears, he's kind, he's selfless, he's thoughtful. He is, in many ways, the ultimate Alex. So, I decided to conduct an experiment. The other day, I was out with him at a QPR game and I tried to see if I could get him to say something nasty about someone, anyone. Here's what happened.
So Alex, come on, just say something horrible about someone, anyone, could be anyone.
I'm not sure I can really, Dan, especially when you've got me on film, but no, there's no one really who annoys me.
All right, how about this? Everybody hates their boss. You've had quite a lot of bosses, you've had a varied career. There must be one boss who you just really hated. Come on, someone nasty.
Well, it's funny you should say that, Dan, because I did work for a boss who seemed to be quite unpopular, but I never understood why, because I really liked him. I got on really well with him. It was really odd. I think everyone else just misunderstood him. Deep down, he was a good guy.
Okay, all right. Listen, earlier this week, we both support QPR. There was a game, we're playing Sunderland. In the cup, we got done by a terrible linesman decision.
Yes.
It cost us our place in the cup. We're not going to the quarter-final. Come on. Just say something nasty about it.
I mean, look, Dan, I wish we could go back in time and I wish the linesman had kept his flag down, but, I mean, we've all made mistakes at work, haven't we? I mean, I know I have. He didn't do it deliberately, did he? You just got to cut him some slack. I wish he hadn't put the flag up, but I don't mind the guy. In fact, if he walked past now, I'd probably buy him a beer and just get him to talk through the decision.
I mean, ridiculous. I'd almost be angry about it if he wasn't such a nice Alex. So, I love Alexes. But the question is, why are Alexes so lovely? Let's start, shall we, with the name itself. The name is of Greek origin and means protector of mankind or defender of men. Alexes, not being sexist, would I'm sure prefer protector of humankind and defender of persons. But I think they take their role as protector and defender very seriously and wear that burden very lightly. The internet also says, I assume, based on the same sort of exhaustive research I've done for this video, that the name Alex suggests someone creative, artistic, ambitious, and always willing to put others first. Now, these personality traits that get listed under all names are always positive, aren't they? Even for names like or But I think when you stop and think about it, those qualities listed will sum up every single Alex you've ever known. Alex is, of course, a great name because of its inherent equality. The internet tells me it's one of the most unisex names there is. The name of Alex has no boundaries. It wanders freely and equitably and fairly and makes no judgments upon the heads on which it sits. Alex is such a great name that you may be thinking of naming your future offspring Alex, or changing your current offspring's name to Alex, or changing your own name to Alex. And if you are, the internet can help you there too, because I found a list of names that pair well as middle names with Alex. Yeah, that sort of thing does exist. Here we go. Dexter, Dominic, Elias, Nathaniel and Parker for boys. And Rebecca, Olivia, Katie, Gemma and Maya for girls. I'm not really sure where that leaves us, but I'll tell you one thing. It doesn't matter what your middle name is if your first name is Alex, because Alex pairs well with anything. That is the power of Alex. There are, of course, Alexes I don't know, but I know of them because they're famous Alexes. There aren't actually that many famous Alexes, but that's because they tend to shun the limelight. Yes, they can easily be rich, famous, and beloved by the world, but they find celebrity a little bit crass and prefer to be humble and quietly brilliant, while always acknowledging the contributions of their colleagues. Let's run through a few of those famous Alexes now, shall we? This is Alex Rodriguez, aka A-Rod, a Major League Baseball star I'd vaguely heard of. Lovely man. Then there's Alex James, the bassist in Blur. I've met him twice actually, and he's very nice. I even interviewed him at his farm where we carried a sofa out onto one of his fields, and I had a nice taste of his nice cheese. Alex Kingston, a wonderful actor, who I have not met, but still a superb Alex. And there's Alex Winter, the film director and actor best known for being Bill in the Bill and Ted films. I mean, he's an archetypal Alex. Best mates with the universally loved Keanu Reeves and star of two of the seminal films of my generation. But he eschewed the sort of fame people with other names might thirst for, and is happy to let his work do the talking. Now at this point, someone might legitimately say, well, not all Alexes are nice. What about Alex the Brazilian footballer? He played for Chelsea, and no one who played for Chelsea could be a nice person, not even an Alex. But my answer is there is always an exception to the rule. And I don't mean that this Alex isn't a nice Alex. I just mean that this Alex is an exception to the rule that nice people don't play for Chelsea. I mean, how can you dislike a central defender who scores free kicks like this? Or this? Blimey. Alexes, of course, also occur in fiction. Alex P. Keaton in Family Ties was not the most likeable Alex anyone has ever come across, but he was played by Michael J. Fox, the loveliest non-Alex in the world. However, when I'm telling people why I love Alexes so much, some of them might occasionally say, hang on a minute, Dan, what about A Clockwork Orange? That features a horrible Alex who wreaks unspeakable violence against women and the homeless. Surely he proves not all Alexes are great and lovely. Well, those people are wrong. And I've unearthed a rare interview with A Clockwork Orange author Anthony Burgess that I believe explains everything.
Hello, my name's Anthony Burgess. I wrote A Clockwork Orange and I'm speaking now in an interview with the BBC or something, probably in like 1978. Anyway, it's true I named my lead character in A Clockwork Orange Alex, but the truth is, this was a little joke between me and my lovely best friend who's called Alex. When I wrote A Clockwork Orange, you see, I originally named the lead character Matthew, which I felt was a perfect name for a horrific villain. My friend Alex read it and agreed, but said, laughing, "Wouldn't it be funny if he was called Alex, though?" And well, of course, we fell about the flat absolutely guffawing. The whole thing made us laugh so much, this idea that someone so horrible could be called Alex, that I changed the name in the book to Alex, just to lighten it a bit, because, you know, it is a tough read, all that violence. I think it worked, I really do. Gave it the sense of the absurd. And Alex was delighted, of course. Lovely man, lovely man. Like all Alexes.
So, there we go. Final proof of my theory that Alexes are the best of us all. Kind and smart, good losers and humble winners. What are you looking at? Oh, this? Well, yeah, I do actually collect autobiographies by people called Alex, but yeah, you might have a point with the good losers thing. But I will say there's an important thing in this book. There's a story that this Alex tells about the time he was changing a barrel in a pub in Glasgow, and a rat jumped on his shoulder and then bit him in the face like a scene from Ratatouille. If Ratatouille had been set in a pub. It's important to remember that being bit in the face by a rat can do stuff to a man. So have a bit of sympathy and some understanding. Any Alex would. Alexes!